So the other end of this cable is coming out of the main out from the board. This end is going to go into line input.
So insert L.
Insert L.
Insert L. So do we touch these at all?
If this is to the left, it should be put to. This should be on the left.
So it should be on mic line.
Yes, actually, it should be right here.
So this is the line in guitar.
Line/guitar in.
And
Right.
so does this go to guitar or no?
No, this stays right here.
So this always stays in mic, but we put it in the line in guitar. And
Now, the reason why that's not getting any activity right now is because what we have playing, if you want to bring it over here, this channel is not technically on. Once we turn it on, it'll come on right here. So now it's on, and we turn this fader up, we should be getting signal on our Tascam unit.
so task code, the signal SIG is green, it's on, but
That means it's
the
recording.
right, the OL is
Yeah.
blinking.
Now, OL stands for over limit. When it's clipping. If that happens, that means that on the recording you can hear.
Okay. Now what do
And
we
so-
do? What does this do? We just do that.
If you look at this, say we turn it up so it's clipping, you can look at GarageBand
Let's see it clipping right here.
and see that it's clipping right there. So if we take that same knob and we turn it down,
Just get a lower.
we can gauge it to where we can have it as loud as possible without it clipping.
Okay. So now if I press record on here, is it going to record this music?
Yes.
So let's go do this. Press record.
So that right there is the record enable button. If it's not highlighted red, that means you're not going to record anything. If it is highlighted, that means it's ready to record.
Okay. So I make sure it's highlighted red, and then I come down and press record. Come down here and press record. So now it's picking up the music here.
Now, notice for sermons, there's a lot of variation in volume.
Yeah, it goes up and down.
So it's better to have this lower
Okay.
because we can always put what's called a compressor on it later on to bring the volume of the low parts up. But if it's clipping, you can't get rid of that noise after you've recorded it.
Okay. So to stop it, I click on the space bar. Right. So to go back and to listen to it, you can just read it. Go back and press space bar.
Okay, the reason why it's not playing through the computer right now is because the sound output is set to the Tascam unit.
Okay.
So the way that you would listen to the Tascam unit is plug headphones in right here where the phone headphones jack is, where it says phones, and this is your headphone volume knob. Now if you want to change it to the computer, click on the Apple, or click on GarageBand and go to Preferences.
Preferences.
Go to Audio,
Audio.
and where it says Audio Output, change Tascam US122. That's to built-in output. Either one is fine.
Built-in output.
Change audio driver, yes. Okay, now if we go back to our file and we play it, it should play the music.
Nice.
So don't use this to pirate music, but it sounds pretty good, huh?
It does. Can I pirate worship? Okay.
Okay, so now say this is our entire sermon, and we're ready to export it. There's a few things that we need to do. The first thing we need to do is save this as a smaller file type. The reason why is because we need a file small enough to upload to the internet. Being as though it's spoken word, it doesn't need to be the highest quality. You won't be able to tell if the file is compressed. So we go to File, and we go to Save As, and right here where it says Compact Project, we're going to check Compact Project. And there's options here: micro, small, or medium. Small is fine.
So this compresses the file, the WAV file?
This compresses the entire file so that it's just not as large. But when we export the WAV file will be about 1/10 of the size.
Okay.
So usually on an hour-long sermon, the WAV file will end up being about 50 megs. Now, if you check the file and it says 500 megs, you know something is wrong. We have to go back and you have to do this process so that it's small enough to upload to the website. So you click Compact Project. Small is just fine. And then you click Save. And it will give you the option of replacing the GarageBand file that you just created. Yes, it's fine. Replace it. So normally that process where the window popped up and it said converting takes a few minutes because it's a longer file. But now we can export this as a smaller file.
So can we go show me one more time how we go back to that? Like to compress it?
Sure. So you go to
GarageBand,
File, Save As, and you will click Compact Project. You aren't able to click it now because it's already compact. Yeah. Okay. The next thing we do is that we're going to put what's called a compressor on it. So we go down here. This is the window that we brought up in the beginning, where it says None. We're going to click that.
So this is after you've already saved it and made it smaller, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't see this window, it's
under track info.
Right. You have to
go back and put show.
Let's see. That's master track.
When
Track
click,
info.
Yeah, when you click track and then show track info.
So we need to show track info. Okay. So we come down here. If you still don't see it, it's because details isn't expanded. So expand details. We're going to click on None. We're going to scroll down until we see AU multiband compressor.
So that's under audio unit effects.
Yes. Now what this is going to do is this is going to make it so that the soft parts are louder and the loud parts are softer. So you can hear the whole message as you're listening to it.
So reverb and echo should be there?
Right now they aren't active because they're down to 0, so you can uncheck them if you want. They're not necessary. So you can uncheck everything else.
Okay.
And then we click on Manual, and the preset that we use is preset 0, fast and smooth.
Okay.
That seems to sound the best for us. Okay, you can also do this under master track. Usually we do it under real instrument because we only have this one file, but if you had multiple recorded tracks that you wanted to apply that to, you'd do it with master track. But real instrument is fine for what we're doing now. The next thing we do is we do our fade out. So if we go to track, like we did in the beginning, show master track. Okay, let's expand this a little bit. Now say we want to do a fade out starting at 4. Usually we'll wait until Pastor Benjamin says let's pray, and then we'll fade out the file over the next 5 or 6 seconds. And so what we do is at 4 seconds we click the dot where the master track is. This is the point where Pastor Benjamin says let's pray, and a dot shows up. Then we'll click another one towards the end of the sermon, and we'll drag it all the way down so that it's muted. So let's see what this sounds like now. John, can you pull the red or the mains and the subs all the way down? Cool, thanks. Let's see what this sounds like through the computer. See if the fade out is correct. And that's where our file would end. So the last thing that we need to do before exporting the file is we need to tell it when to stop the export. Because if we just export it right now, it's going to export all of this blank space. And so what we do is we drag this cursor all the way to the right, and there's this little purple arrow up here. This purple arrow is going to show us where to stop the exported file. So we're going to drag this arrow to the left, and we'll drag it to right. I lost it. We're going to drag it. Oh, Okay, because our